facility, and it's a pretty large facility. To get to the next part, I'm going to have to work on a more obscure part of it. That is this section right here. Part of it's parallel, well, not parallel, but diagonal from this section right here. And what I need to do is figure out exactly how far this should go diagonally. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2. And I'm trying to count how far it is out at the moment. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe not 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's harder to do that in certain sections because of there's not always easily referenceable sections to use to determine the distance. With some of them it's easy because there's grass there, or there's flowers there, or trees there. And in those cases it's a bit easier to actually handle figuring out the distance. With something like this, you basically have to eyeball it based on how the grass looks, and it's easy to get lost in the pattern there. But this is needed to determine exactly where the McCoy Logging Company meets this road up here. And this road up ahead may require some alterations. And now one more thing to measure. And this will be useful, is where the curb next to the warehouse is in relation to some of these areas. So the road meets the McCoy Logging Company right here. Let me fix this. This is where the line of the road should end, and the McCoy Logging Company begins. 2, which means this should extend this way. And some of it I placed in this way knowing I'd have to fix it later, because it's not too terribly hard to fix in some cases. For example, I know that this line right here should line up with the curb right by the warehouse I'm going to be building over here. So I have that in. The reason why I needed to do this section right here, and I'm going to need to excavate this entire section and replace it with carpet that I'm using to represent the asphalt and concrete of this parking lot for this business. The reason why I needed to do this right here is to actually get where part of this parking lot indents inward and then moves towards the warehouse. I need to get quite a bit of the measurements right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it should alter right here. Fortunately, I don't have to measure this section right here since it joins this section. And it looks like this area right here is perhaps where trucks could turn around or trucks could temporarily park. And that is in the Project Zomboid map. Some of the things are pretty much speculation on my part in areas like that, but with this section right here being so close to the warehouse, and with the warehouse being for loading and unloading either logs or finished product, it would make sense that there would be at least one section of the parking lot actually several sections of the parking lot dedicated to trucks either being able to pull in, pull out, or just be parked for long extended amounts of time. With some of the parking lot I'll do off stream. Some of it I'll do just simply to make it easier to figure out exactly where everything should go. And if I stop in some sections, it's just to simply measure off exactly where everything should be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 from the road. And it's 14 from this road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that's how far this parking spot should, or this curb should extend. Actually, now that I look at it again, I think it's just this entire section right here is to make getting in and out of it easier for trucks. As opposed to just simply parking there. But it could be used in this part right here. I'm only going to excavate part of this for now. And that is simply to make it easier to work in this area. I'm going to do some measurements. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this right here is where part of the building should be. And let's use that as a temporary measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's markings in the road which marks out where the loading section for this warehouse is. One, two, and curb goes inward from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. And the edge of the building should be about right here. I've been using quartz and dark prismarine in this section, and that is mostly because I don't have a green metal block that I could use to represent the basically the doorway for loading and unloading. It's like a garage door for unloading and loading finished product and logs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this case, it looks like a lot of boxes, so likely finished product. Although one of the trailers by it has a couple of logs tied together inside it, the trailer. And there's one trailer that's parked up without the actual truck itself to the second garage door. And this warehouse is made up of 2 rooms. One of them is the major room settled for the finished product crates that need to be taken in. Well, it looks like sold out or taken out by the business to be distributed elsewhere. And in this one, there's a smaller, and it looks like a tool closet in the back of the warehouse. 1, 2, there's a short walkway about right here. 1, 2, and a door right here. And what I'm doing with this and translating 1 and 2s is that I'm translating from one medium to another. So I'm translating one block in Project Zomboid to a 4x4 pattern such as this in Minecraft, which makes some of the counting a little bit odd, and how I might say 3, but I'll just do something like this: 1, 2, 3. So if there's any confusion from that, that's basically why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 4, 5, 6. Actually should be here anyway, so once I got some of the measurements are a little bit hard to do, and mostly that is because in some areas there's not very much I can go on to judge distances by. It's pretty much almost like a blank slate. And that, with that in mind, I have to sort of guess exactly where it should be, or where some of these walls should be, and that can get a little bit difficult. With this one, I'm using some of the crates inside the building to count out exactly how long these walls should be. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I'm already off on that, but that's easy to fix. And then there's another one of these garage light doors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty sure there's a specific name for them. And there is a trailer that's right outside this one. The difference here is that this one is open. And I'm counting out 3 in that case because I usually try to do 3 for levels. This one's open. Which means I need to use the interior for it. Which I will use stone for the interior since it makes it a little bit simpler. And the fact that this is storage, so they wouldn't have been too fancy with how the floors are set up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe. Or maybe it's this. Yeah, it's about that is at the end. It's a bit of an obscure way of putting it together, but I'm trying to build this based on a different game and try to get it as close as possible as I can to it. There is a truck trailer right here. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 maybe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And the trailer for this is flat on the ground, so I don't need to worry about elevating it. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm placing the pattern into the ground. Sometimes it's easier, even if it means a little bit of excavating, to use a pattern as opposed to just building straight up. Or on top of the grass. doing now is trying to put what's actually inside of it, which is boxes and some trees. Actually, I should have just kept those there. Now I'm using these boxes because I can place them side by side. And there's shulker boxes. It's hard to actually do crates in this game, so trying this right here, since at least it might give the impression of crates. Okay, that should represent what's inside of it. How does the roof look? Okay, the roof's got a tarp on it. Now I don't have a specific way to easily do this, so what I've been doing is simply using cloth or wool, basically. To represent the fact that this has got some cloth tied down over top of it. Well, tied over the shell of the trailer. Since there's not really a case of the ability to use wallpaper. Perhaps that might be in a future update. But for the moment, the only way to actually pull that off is to do this. And it'll look strange on the inside because one of the downsides is the fact that the interior and the exterior of any building that you work on in Minecraft, unless you're willing to do, say for example, 2-block wide wall, is going to be the same. So this is supposed to make it look like there's a tarp tied around it, and I think I should do this right here. As I said, it's a little bit hard to pull this part off. So it looks like this is open, which is the same way it is in Project Zomboid. You can get by these trees, logs. Okay. Now back to work on the building. It's a single story building. Unlike some of the others, it doesn't really extend very high. The case of over here where there's a factory floor, it's 2-story for certain sections where the factory is, but there's not really a second floor, except in one of the buildings there's a small platform about in the space of a second floor, but most of that is to accommodate for the factory. And the 2 warehouses over here pretty much have the same design. in terms of the fact that they're both 2-room warehouses, one with a sort of storage room, tool shed, or tool room in the back, and the other one actually has a bathroom instead, and maybe tools in there as well. Okay, so, and what I'm going to be counting now is the crates that are along the side of this building to figure out exactly how deep the building should be or how wide the building should be. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2. And now I know basically the perimeter for this building. And also it's, I guess you could call it a sister building, but the building is right next to it. The warehouse that's right next to it. You need to replace this grass with stone, which will represent the floor of this warehouse. One, two, 34. So it might easier be to work on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a door about right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this should be the storage room, the warehouse, mostly for our tools and the like. There's a couple of shelves in here. I'm going to extend this by 2 and bring it in line with this building. Right here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this line right here is going to be useful because it represents the edge of McCoy Logging. And I can join this up with pretty much the rest of the parking lot way on the other end over here. So let me know exactly how far I should excavate. Although I may need to repair some of it at the end. Okay, now to figure out exactly how far I should go, and this should be 2 of them right here. I'm trying to figure out how far I should go from where I just placed this stair to right here. Because there is a short disconnect. Okay, 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 maybe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 maybe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 maybe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 50, 60, 70, 18, maybe. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Some of the dimensions can be a bit of a pain to implement. There's 3 sections in the back right here, and it looks like that is specifically for storing trailers, although at the moment there are only 2 trailers back there, both of them completely filled with logs or unprocessed wood. And for the moment I need that as a temporary measure to tell me where the cones should be. To do that later. Now I need to figure out the distances between these two buildings. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 between the buildings, maybe. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That takes care of the back room on this warehouse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, two. Two, wrong one. Need a dark for 7. Where's the marine? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. And the setup for this one is pretty much the same as the other one. The only major difference is the fact that this one has a bathroom in the back, whereas the other one does not. 2, and then there's a door right here. Make sure I get it identical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. 23 from there. Between the two. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to need to adjust this side. 2. One, 2, 3, 4. Some of this is simply because of the distortions and how difficult it is at times to get measurements right when there's not always references that can easily be used. Okay, both of these doors are closed, so I'm going to go ahead and close them off. And part of this will determine if I need to fix this or not. Because these buildings are a little bit too large. Okay, there's a difference of 8 from where they should be. Maybe a little bit more. This one's supposed to be out. Yeah, it's outside of it. Doesn't look so good. So I'm going to put it on the inside. So it's a good thing I didn't build up both of these warehouses, or one of the warehouses first. It might make it, would have made it a little bit more difficult to actually do the adjustments I need to do. And some of them I needed to just adjust a little bit more because it looks a little bit odd if I leave it the other way. So this is how far I'm off by. The door should be right here. Two, three, four, five, six. And it's not too hard to get off on numbers like this. Which is why it's a good idea to sometimes just place in the patterns first. Instead of building it up, each building up completely. One, two, three, four. One, two. Place this right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Round 17. Which means I'm going to need to move that trailer as well. The easiest way to do this and to get these buildings roughly about the same is to work on it from both sides at the same time. Now this side appears to be in decent working order. So now I need to adjust the distances between right here to sort of get it to match up. I'll move this one by 1 and work from there. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Round 16 on both sides of those. According to this, and I'll use this as a partial one as well. The beginning of this building should be roughly around here. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 maybe. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, about right here. In theory, that's where it should be. I actually would place it a bit further in. It's not going to really work. Okay. So I've got a bit of distortion that's been built up. Try it from 6. See how that looks. 6. Which means I need to do the reverse here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Door here. Which wouldn't put that too far off. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Theory, that should be it. We should just move it over just a little bit, I suppose. Makes it a little bit smaller. It should work. Maybe. I'll need to approach it and do it on this side as well. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 on this side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure I've got everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 hard from it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which would leave quite a bit of space between the two. And more than there should be. Which means this needs to be longer. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 10. Seven, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that works a bit better. And now I need to expand this side as well. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like I just did too much on the middle. And that's where my problem was. This one does need to go a little bit further still. So I'll just add 2 more. Which will put 12 between the two, which is probably closer to what it should be. Or should have been. Okay, so that's 12. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is a bit more doable, but still not completely right. So I'm going to extend this by 1 on this side. And then keep doing that on the other side too. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. This needs to move over about 1. Same here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually 2. That's a bit closer. And that should do it. Finally. I'll have to do the interior, just a room again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, this one would be a little bit larger. That's a headache. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should have a moth on that as well. Should be on the interior. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should start here. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4. Yes. Sometimes it's easier just to destroy it and rebuild it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, good distance between the two, and it looks like they're same size. But it also means I can extend the interior just a little bit more. And that is mostly to get this to eke out a little bit more space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I do 16 might do it. 50, 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Seem to be doing a lot of recalculating for it. Sometimes it's buildings are like this, and I'm trying to get, when you have to really get things as close as you can to the source material. So 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, this should be the, yeah, that looks a lot better. This is the last time I'll have to redo that. Okay, that is it for the moment. See if I can stream again today. But thank you for watching right now. The next time I stream, it'll be still working on this, and I'm building up these two warehouses. But fortunately, I've got the basic perimeter for these warehouses in, and most of the pattern for the rest of this logging build in Project Minecraft and Project Zomboid. Well, thank you very much for watching, and that is it for the moment.